Before I said anything, I made it clear that everything being shared was allegedly, because in stories like this, knowing too much could flip your whole view of fame and power. The media world had already been shaken, but on that day, explosive revelations had rocked it even harder. You won't believe how many powerful names were quietly being pulled into one growing storm. Let me tell you, this was not just another rumor floating on the internet. It was one of those stories that refused to die, no matter how hard people tried to ignore it. At the center of the noise stood Bishop T.D. Jakes, a man who had once been praised as one of the most respected spiritual leaders in America. He had been celebrated, trusted, and followed by millions. But destiny took an unexpected turn when his name began appearing in conversations that had nothing to do with faith or sermons. This is how the story slowly shifted from praise to suspicion. Around the same time, the entertainment industry was already burning because of serious allegations against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. A lawsuit had been filed and it accused him of years of abuse, manipulation, and control. The case sent shockwaves everywhere, and people thought that was where it would end. But here is the shocking part. Reports claim that the lawsuit was only the surface. According to online chatter, the person who filed the case had allegedly shared more information with federal authorities, and that information did not stop with one man. Social media exploded when a TikTok creator claimed insider knowledge and suggested that hidden evidence existed, including recordings from private parties. These parties were described as places where powerful people mixed without limits. What made people uneasy was the claim that Bishop T.D. Jakes had allegedly been present at some of these gatherings. Nothing had been proven, but the question alone was enough to make people uncomfortable. This is where it gets interesting. The internet did not focus only on the evidence, it focused on the silence. As rumors spread, people waited for a strong response. Instead, Bishop T.D. Jakes addressed the issue indirectly during a church service. He spoke about lies, attacks, and standing firm in faith, but he did not directly answer the claims. Some people felt that his words were powerful. Others felt they avoided the real issue. What makes this story different? It was not just about accusations, it was about trust. For many viewers, faith and leadership were personal, and seeing doubt creep in felt like a betrayal. As reactions poured in, the divide became clear. Some defended him strongly, saying this was a setup and nothing more than an internet gossip. Others believed that powerful figures were finally being exposed. The craziest part was that just when the story seemed like it could not grow any bigger, another familiar name quietly entered the conversation. Reports began linking Bishop T.D. Jakes to Steve Harvey. At first, it sounded harmless. They were both public figures. They had attended events together. That alone meant nothing. But whispers suggested the connection went deeper, with claims that the pastor was a frequent presence around the Harvey family. People started asking questions they never thought they would ask before. And just as those questions started forming, the story twisted again. Allegations and rumors began to circle around Steve Harvey's private life, especially his marriage to Marjorie Harvey. Blogs and gossip outlets hinted at infidelity, secret arrangements, and money disputes. None of it was confirmed, but the timing felt strange. Many wondered why all these names kept appearing in the same conversation. Was it coincidence, or was there something connecting them behind closed doors? The tension kept rising, and the answers stayed just out of reach, leaving everyone wanting more. As the story continued, the focus slowly shifted from rumors to patterns. People began looking back, connecting moments that once seemed harmless. Let me tell you, this was the phase where curiosity turned into suspicion. Old interviews, photos, and public appearances were suddenly being rewatched with fresh eyes. Viewers noticed how certain names kept crossing paths, how certain friendships felt unusually close. You won't believe how fast the narrative changed once people stopped looking at individuals and started looking at the circle around them. This is how Steve Harvey became more than just a side note in the conversation. He had always been seen as a family man, a man of faith, someone who preached positivity and discipline. That image had been carefully built over years, but destiny took an unexpected turn when reports suggested that his personal life was not as simple as it looked. Online sources claimed that his marriage to Marjorie Harvey had been under strain for a long time. At first, these claims were brushed off as gossip, but then whispers of an alleged affair involving a close employee began to spread, and people started paying attention. But here is the shocking part. Some reports hinted that this situation was not just about betrayal, but about control and silence. It was alleged that money, power, and image management played a huge role in keeping things quiet. Divorce rumors surfaced, along with shocking figures about financial settlements. Nothing was confirmed, yet the consistency of these stories made people uneasy. This is where it gets interesting, because every time one rumor was denied, another appeared with even more detail, pulling the audience deeper into the mystery. As the internet dug further, attention turned back to Bishop T.D. Jakes. What makes this story different? It was the claim that his role was not distant or accidental. Whispers suggested that his connection to the Harvey family went beyond spiritual guidance. According to online discussions, he was allegedly a trusted presence, someone welcomed into private spaces. This alone raised eyebrows, but then came the rumors that truly shocked people. Some sources suggested a hidden relationship between Marjorie Harvey and Bishop T.D. Jakes. Again, these were only allegations, but they spread like wildfire. The craziest part was how these rumors changed public perception overnight. Steve Harvey was no longer just a victim of gossip in some people's eyes. Questions emerged about what he knew, what he allowed, and why everything seemed so carefully managed. Some claimed the couple lived under an unspoken agreement, choosing public perfection over private truth. Whether true or not, the idea alone shook fans who had admired them for years. As all of this unfolded, reactions grew louder and more emotional. Supporters argued that this was a dangerous mix of lies and speculation. Critics claimed that powerful people often hid behind faith and fame. The tension kept building because no clear proof appeared, only more stories, more screenshots, and more voices claiming insider knowledge. The deeper people looked, the more complicated the picture became, and the truth felt further away than ever. As the story unfolded even further, the layers of secrecy and alleged connections started to become more tangled. Let me tell you, people could hardly keep up with how fast new twists were appearing. The attention was no longer only on Bishop T.D. Jakes or Steve Harvey individually, but on the complex web that seemed to tie them to others in the entertainment and spiritual worlds. You won't believe how many new names and connections were suddenly whispered about online, each one adding another level of intrigue and suspicion. This is how the narrative deepened. Alleged evidence, which came in the form of videos, social media posts, and claims from anonymous insiders, began circulating. Some viewers insisted that they could see patterns of secret meetings and private conversations that made them question the integrity of everyone involved. Reports suggested that Bishop T.D. Jakes was allegedly present at events that went beyond normal social gatherings, places where his influence was questioned and his intentions speculated upon. The very thought of a spiritual leader being pulled into such a world shocked many, but it also made the story irresistible. But here's the shocking part. According to some accounts, the connection between Marjorie Harvey and Bishop T.D. Jakes was not just casual. Whispers claimed that their relationship went beyond friendship and faith guidance, suggesting secret interactions that were never meant to be public. People began to speculate wildly, questioning how much Steve Harvey knew and whether he was part of the arrangement or completely in the dark. This is where it gets interesting. Every new rumor seemed to link back to another person in the circle, making it almost impossible for anyone to separate fact from fiction. What makes this story different? The way the public began reacting. Fans and critics were divided, some defending the individuals fiercely, while others felt betrayed by the image of perfection they had believed in. Social media exploded with debates, theories, and even live commentaries from people claiming insider knowledge. Some voices pointed out that in high-profile lives, image is everything, and secrets are carefully hidden. But the alleged leaks seemed to pierce that shield, showing a side of the story that many were not ready to see. The craziest part was that as each rumor appeared, more contradictions emerged. Statements were issued denying any wrongdoing, but new details appeared almost immediately, making denials feel incomplete. The tension built up like a storm that refused to pass, leaving everyone on edge, waiting for the next twist. Destiny took an unexpected turn as the story shifted yet again, this time hinting that even more people, previously unknown, might have been connected to this circle of secrecy. People began watching closely, anticipating the next revelation, because by now, nothing felt predictable or safe. As the story reached its final twist, the intensity of the rumors and alleged secrets reached a fever pitch. Let me tell you, by this point, everyone who followed the story felt like they were watching a chain reaction that could not stop. You won't believe how quickly every new claim seemed to add another layer of mystery, pulling the audience deeper into a world where faith, fame, and secrecy collided. People began questioning everything they thought they knew about these public figures, their trustworthiness, their relationships, and the very image they had built over the years. This is how the internet became a storm of speculation. Fans dissected every interview, every public appearance, and every social media post, searching for clues. Allegedly, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Steve Harvey, and Marjorie Harvey were all connected in ways no one had expected. Rumors claimed secret meetings, unusual patterns of communication, and private gatherings that were never shared with the public. Some viewers felt shocked, others outraged, and some could hardly believe that such a network of high-profile figures could be surrounded by so much secrecy. But here is the shocking part. As the rumors multiplied, stories emerged suggesting that even more layers were hidden behind the scenes. Allegedly, financial arrangements, personal favors, and strategic appearances were all part of a carefully maintained web. The audience began to wonder whether anything about the public lives of these celebrities and leaders was real, or if everything had been carefully staged to protect an image. This is where it gets interesting. The deeper people dug, the less certain the truth became. Every claim had a counterclaim, and every denouncement led to yet another alleged revelation. What makes this story different? Unlike typical celebrity gossip, this scandal involved not just entertainment figures, but also a widely respected spiritual leader, blending two worlds that rarely intersect in such explosive ways. The tension between public persona and alleged private actions made it impossible to simply take sides. Some defended the people involved, insisting that the allegations were false or exaggerated. Others believed the claims, saying they had always sensed something hidden beneath the carefully polished image. Opinions clashed, and the story became a mirror of the public's own fascination with scandal, power, and secrecy. The craziest part was how the final rumors seemed to loop back to the very beginning, suggesting that the circle of influence and connections might be even wider than anyone realized. Destiny took an unexpected turn once again, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. As people reflected on the unfolding events, they realized that this was not just a story about individuals. It was a story about how power, secrecy, and human relationships collide in ways no one could have predicted. In the end, the truth remained elusive, hidden behind layers of allegations, whispers, and speculation, leaving the audience hooked, waiting for the next revelation that might finally uncover what really happened behind closed doors.